CXXII, TMG.
Challenge so far, tactically or even outside of tactics?
Training for me is a big challenge. Not just because numbers are inconsistent, but we get less time than we did last year.
I swear.
Yeah, remember last year we started at 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
This year we're starting at 8:30.
Yeah.
10 minutes of that hour and an hour and a half is just setting up.
Yeah.
Getting boots on, talking to people, getting them ready.
Yeah.
And then we've probably got an hour solid of training time.
Yep.
After the warm up. So
yeah.
I've got to implement all these ideas in my head in 1 hour a week.
It's not enough, so.
It's not enough time at all, which is why I feel like I'm only at maybe 40% of where I want the team to be.
Yeah.
Because I'm having to introduce stuff very slowly. And then within that hour, how many man do I have on the day?
Have you thought of other ways to counteract that? Maybe outside of the training, outside of being on the training ground, so maybe sending some clips and stuff to explain concepts even more?
I've thought about it, but man them don't really... I will work in men. Like, I know man them aren't really going to sit down. There's a couple players that might. Like, there's players that message me on the side and they be like, boss, what do you need from me? Or, okay, you didn't start me this game. Why didn't you start me? What is it you're looking for? I had someone message me, okay, can you describe what your midfield looks like and what you want from each position? And I voice noted them. I broke it down. The next game, I think they got a man of the match award. You get it? So I have people that come to me directly. But generally speaking, I know if I just throw it in the chat, it's not going to land with everyone. And it's not really the most effective way of doing it. Like, the man them that really want it will come and find it. But otherwise, I'm just wary of just throwing it into the chat and hoping. Because even when I put out match instructions on the Saturday, you know, people don't really read it. Some people do. But I'm watching, like, corners get set up and I can tell, okay, cool, you didn't read it.
Yeah.
Straight away. So just throwing it into the chat for me isn't necessarily...
When do you've heard them on the Saturday, innit?
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even read it.
Yeah.
Because I come from coaching. I just don't have the time. Literally, I'll be coaching my team and obviously we're not doing too great this year, and then train sessions intense.
Yeah.
And I'm driving and next time I'm at the game and it's just skips.
Like, everyone's got different lives, innit?
Yeah,
So
I'd say maybe try throw it on a Friday.
possibly.
When the team comes
It's
out.
quite difficult when you're managing guys that they're not professionals, you know.
Yeah, there's only so much I can ask of you. Like, and they already put in so much effort.
Yeah.
Or the men that turn up put in so much effort. So it's like, how much can I throw at you and expect you to take that in?
I'd say the suggestion that, yeah, for the stuff that you want to impact in training, or the stuff you maybe don't have enough time for, maybe if you can find a quick, like, 5-minute video,
Yeah.
and just put into the chat and be like, hey, or, you know, watch this, because I've been talking. Most guys are watching other nonsense there. Everyone in the chat always thinks they're flipping Pep Guardiola and tactics and stuff, so that would help, you know. And it's obviously, I always say to my guys that I coach that, you know, watch this. These guys explain it much better than I ever could.
Yeah.
Especially the level of detail, the diagrams and the stuff they're using, the illustrations. Especially, I always refer back to Tifo football. Like, I got one of my boys to Harrison's that. I got Harrison to watch and some other boys to watch a video about Thomas Muller. And his dad said that he doesn't really understand where to be at enough on the pitch in certain scenarios. And so, you know, if he actually just studies Thomas Muller, he will get to grasp with that sort of stuff, attacking, moving, and player positioning for a wing or forward a lot quicker and that sort of thing. So that's what I'm really gonna try bring to his attention.
Yeah.
How do you as a coach try and improve? What do you do to make sure that you're improving? Not only your players, but how do you make sure that you're improving?
I do a lot of sort of looking up for ideas. So if you go through my phone, I've got like loads of like ebooks and videos saved, and I'm just always looking for a new idea, even if it's maybe from someone who plays a different way to me. I'm always trying to find like, cool, can I bring something fresh to training? I look at the match performance. Is there something missing in the instruction that I'm giving? So it's not only just criticizing and analyzing the players, but it's actually criticizing and analyzing the information and tactics and the training that you've put on for them and how you can improve that. So I'm always, because I don't watch a lot of TV, so I'm probably YouTubing something, I'm probably reading like an ebook or flicking through Twitter, follow a load of football pages. So I'm just always looking for a fresh way to present my ideas.
It's good. It's good to always try and improve and try because
Yeah.
you know it happens to
fresh.
some of the best coaches, like for example Mourinho, probably didn't evolve and improve.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, you become a dinosaur.
Yeah, for real.
Have you when you so now that you got into management, when you see other teams and other managers,
Yeah.
do you think they're playing to the same level of detail tactically as you, or do you think it's still a bit archaic in terms of the management styles that you see?
Some managers I think are a lot more modern now, but you still get quite a few of the old school. Like watching, who's that team? Dulwich Village.
Yeah.
All Stars. You can tell their manager wants them to play a certain way. I can appreciate the way that they play.
Can you see that the patterns and the way they're trying to play in terms of against your team? Like maybe
100%.
because you've got the knowledge, you can see okay, this is what they're trying to do. This is what they're trying to implement. It's not just they want it more than you know. That's something you see it.
Like one of the first things I do, first 5 minutes of the match, what shape are they playing? How are they playing? How are their players from the first goal kick? How are they setting up to press us? And then from there you go from there. And then even like watching it back because we got the VO, so I get to watch the games back. I'm not only looking how did we play, but how did they play against us and what problems did they cause us.
And how do you know in a game when you're playing a game? How do you know what to do to adapt? Okay, this is what they're doing. How do you communicate it on the pitch? Or how are you telling someone, okay, this is what they're doing?
Sometimes I very rarely scream at the whole team at the same time. It's probably I might pull one player across and talk to them and say, this is what I need to communicate to that, to your players. Or maybe switch someone, I might switch wings because I might need them to go outside rather than inside. So it's maybe just picking up 1 or 2 details and tweaking that rather than telling the whole team to tweak. Because the one time I've done that, it didn't go well.
Okay.
Yeah. Against Dartford Celtic.
Why didn't it go well?
I done a formation switch with a formation I'd never tried before.
Okay, so people went over.
Yeah, so the next 10 minutes were a little bit chaotic, but even watching it back, it didn't cause us too much problems, but it disrupted the team. So I had to apologise for that after the game. But
You guys are on his case.
yeah, but I tried to make small tweaks rather than.
But it's a learning experience, isn't it?
Yeah, big time. So like you try some things. Not everything's gonna work. You just have to charge it.
And what manager do you look up to in terms of that?
For managers.
Managers. So like I said, Pep, Wenger, Del Bosque. Who's more modern day? Arteta, to be fair. What he's done is amazing.
Do you feel like
Zerbi.
modern managers are very robotic in that they've made their players play a certain way? Do you give your players the license, to make decisions on the pitch, or are you saying that this is how you have to play?
I have to give them that license because we're not professionals. We don't train day in, day out. So there's only so much I can impart on them. I have to trust that they're good enough, especially in the final third. Generally, I don't really give much instruction. So the first 2/3, a lot of our training is, can we build out? How do we press? What's our shape like? Can we rotate the ball in midfield? What shape are we taking up in these areas? But in the final third, it's go and bring me a goal. I don't really I've done a little bit of work around the final third, but generally final third, go and be creative, go and get me goals. I trust you guys up there, but let me at least bring you to that point.
Yeah, that's Pep's philosophy as well, actually. When it says, my job is to get to the final third, go for the defensive phase, or defensive third to the full third. And when it gets to the final third, yes, it gives them a few instructions, but, it's for them guys to, show off their own natural instincts,
problem solving,
solve their own problems, solution makers, break down the defense in their own kind of way. Because a big part of attacking is instinctive, off the cuff, unpredictability. If the attack becomes too predictable, like Arsenal at times, you can get found out. You can go really dry. You need those creative players, and that's why those guys do tend to earn the big bucks because they have to do a job where there's no real plan per se. They have to make up as they go along to an extent, and have to keep keeping. Once they have to have a lot of different ideas because once people clock their 1 or 2 go moves, they have to come up with a new go move and a new other thing to do and add a new string to their bow, that sort of stuff. So, and obviously they have to do different stuff like getting double teams and maybe sometimes even triple teams. It's rare in football, but that can happen. So yeah, whereas the other guys in midfield and defensive third, that those requirements are not as needed.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think they give the attackers the the base to do it. Because if your midfield is leaky and that ball's not getting to your attackers safely, because if you just lump it into your strikers, it's long. Like, you have to get the ball to them safely for them to go and create.
Yeah, of course. What I'm saying is, like, they don't have the attackers have more of a license to do their own thing.
Yeah.
There's not the strict plans and principles per se. Like, for example, when it's the final third, okay, maybe the manager said, "I want you to move the ball quickly. I want you to do lots of overlaps, underlaps, and attacking movement." But it's more off the cuff, whereas building the ball from the defenders and
It's very
midfielders,
formulaic.
there's a formula, there's a strategy, more of a strategy where there's attackers can be a lot more chop and change and different things happen. And they have to have a lot of counter moves, because to counteract what the defenders, how the defenders are trying to stop them. Like, for example, it's rare that you're gonna get triple teamed or double teamed in the defensive midfield third, apart from maybe the DM, or maybe if they found out that, okay, this guy really conducts the whole team, they may double team. I mean, that happened to me once when we played a friendly, when I've done the DM role, the Don Simon role, where every time I had the ball, there's like two guys on me, I was just playing in front of the defence. I was thinking, this is insane.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff, but yeah.
Cool. I don't know, do you have any more questions in terms of the coaching journey? Or
I'll say aspirations, ambitions. This season and beyond, short term, medium term, long term.
I want to stay with Agenda for a couple of years. I think I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a good opportunity for me to grow as the club's growing. So I definitely want to stick around for a while. After that, probably just see how far up the footballing pyramid this thing takes me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'll be a Premier League manager, but at least can I make a semi-pro and beyond? See how far I can go. I don't really see myself going into kids team coaching. Like, I'm more men's sort of football, so I'd want to sort of progress and see where it takes me in that area.
It makes sense. What aspirations for this season?
Win everything. Win everything. I think we got 3 cups to fight.
This is the new restart.
I can say that. So we'll keep this one short, anyways. This new restart. So we've gone through the most part of the coaching, to be fair.
Yeah. So let's go. Ready?
Yeah, so obviously want to win it all, as you said. That's an aspiration for this season.
Yeah.
And obviously going into next season.
Just climbing through Kent as quickly as we can.
Yep.
I think really we have the ability to win the leagues like back to back, get to Division 1 and really push from there. It's just about application, being there, like numbers, reliability.
Yep.
But I think we'll push on quickly. I think.
What's the age of your squad right now?
Well, yeah, good question.
That's
I think a lot of men are hitting 30, but this season I think I've signed a few young boys to bring the average age down.
Young blood.
But injuries are creeping on all the old men, so.
Shit, my glutes. Everything. My legs are so tight. I have to yoga every morning.
Need to get a few young boys in.
Yeah, some runners. Some track stars.
But I think this season's been a good sort of learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Tactically, management-wise, I'm still growing every day. I don't even think I'm at 5% yet.
Give yourself some credit, mate.
No, honestly, I think I've got a lot to learn still because I've only been managing 6 months. You get it? So
True.
there's always more stuff you can learn, more stuff you can be exposed to. So yeah, just a learning journey for me.
Okay. Next thing I'll say, what do you think is your greatest strength pertaining to being a coach, and what do you think is area of improvement in your opinion?
Tactically, I think, or in terms of having the ideas, tactically, I think that's my greatest strength. Like, I'm always looking for ways to improve and control the game and how to sort of really dominate the game. I think the area for improvement is, you know what I'd say the area for improvement is improving players.
Yeah.
So I'm very tactics focused. I look at the whole.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of taking a player and improving them within my system, I think that's where I can grow massively.
Is that a manager? What's that? So for me, so it might be a dunk. Is that a manager role or a coach role?
Bit of both. It depends how the manager wants to manage.
Because I feel like if you want to do it the way you want to do it, don't you think that maybe then you should try and recruit a coach that's on your wavelength that can now execute like you said? Do you know what I mean?
So
as opposed to being both. Doing both.
I've got my AM, I've got my coach, but for me, I'm very hands-on. So you get like maybe a Ferguson, where he might let the coaches coach, and then he comes through with the tactics. Whereas me, I want to impart everything, and then my coaches enhance my ideas and really help me stamp it.
Sir Alex Ferguson, Alex Musa. Say nine. I mean, that's all the things. Actually, wait, the final thing. What would you say your biggest moment has been so far in the year and a half or so you've been coaching?
Biggest moment? Probably the cup final win last year.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's not me as a manager. That's me as a coach. That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had my moment as a manager yet, but we're only 6 months in. It's a long way to go.
Actually, I forgot what toughest game so far?
What, this season?
Since you've been a coach? Or since you've been a manager?
Since I've been, probably the Equinoctial game.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, but even that one, I feel like back three on the day didn't slap. So maybe, I feel as though if I went 4-3-3 and had the wingers that I wanted on the day, it would have been a different scoreline.
Why did we go back three?
Because at the time I was having a lot of problems with getting people in support of the striker. So you've got really wide wingers, you got the striker just there.
Yeah.
So it was more getting the 2-8s or the 2-10s, however you want to call it, around them.
Yeah.
But in terms of how we were off the ball, it was a little bit disjointed. Because I did it the week before against Metrogas in the friendly.
Yeah.
And it worked fine.
Yeah.
But I think with Equinoctial, they were a bit more clever and knew how to sort of pull our press apart.
Yeah.
Once we went 4-3-3, it was a different game. But by then, it felt a bit too late. Like, we couldn't quite get the chance.
Yeah.
And then they catch us with sucker punch at the end.
Sucker punch, your counter attacks. Okay, Mr. Musa, you know, going leaps and bounds, you know, doing really good stuff as a coach, great stuff.
Appreciated.
For sure, that's why, you know, me myself, I identified to come on board with what me and the boys of GGS have going on.
Yeah.
You know, helped us out massively. Especially the calmness and the patience. Yeah. And the way you can connect to the kids and explain stuff to them in a, you know, a good, calm manner. Even in moments of adversity or tricky periods, you know, calm them down. That's a great skill to have. Doing lots of great work for sure. And long may it continue. Like I said, you know, if you ever want to get into youth football, you have the knack for it. I mean, me, obviously, I started coaching 2017, volunteering. So I managed this side the 2019, or coaching, I was assistant manager before 2019. I then became full manager after the pandemic when we resumed around towards the late 2020.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you know, the way I play and you know get onto my teammates and stuff. Obviously, it's completely different now. I can be with the boys, than coach because obviously they're kids. And so I remember Sunday just gone. Yeah. I really wanted to just slap some kids. I just really wanted to just grip some up. I'm like, yo, shake them up. I can't do that because they're kids. But those do nonsense on the day.
Do you feel like with kids it's harder to like be more like tactically detailed?
Of course, yeah. Because they don't. One or two may understand, but they're not developed enough and mature enough to understand that sort of stuff. So you have to scale it back and simplify. And that's why with kids, it's literally the best team will win. Right. You can have the best tactics, but if the gap in ability is too far, you don't really, or the physical gap is too far, you don't really have a chance. You can't coach that gap. You can make the game more competitive, but the gap, you can't really coach that gap. And obviously, some boys have been playing football since they're 5, 6, 7. Some boys have been having high level training since they're 5, 6, 7. Some boys have been competing in competitive environments and having high level training since they're 5, 6, 7. Others may have had good training for a long time, but may not be in the right environment to really push them on. And some boys they just don't get, and some boys the maturity they can't pick up things as quickly as others. So they fall behind in that regard. So that's what can make it really tough in order to bridge that tactical gap and obviously or bridge the quality gap with tactics. This season for me has been an eye opener. Yeah. Because this is been our toughest season. Definitely results wise, we haven't definitely not lost this many games. But development wise, it's even though it's hard to see it right now. I think it's probably one of our best because the boys they are learning stuff that they have to be on point for a full game.
Yeah.
Can't switch off. You can't come in at 8%, 7%, 6%. You're playing. Again, every game is a dogfight. Every game is tough. Everyone has a new unique challenge. Everyone has unique skill sets. The one team that last week, the team we played 2 days ago, Sunday, physical team. You know, they beat us up and they always beat us.
Yeah.
Team we're playing this Sunday, nowhere near as physical, but technically very good, very well drilled, and the top of the league. And like I said, prior to this pod, I wouldn't be surprised if you give them a tougher game than we gave those guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, in England, there's just the diversity of different styles, which obviously makes the English League and Premier League the most attractive because there's so many different styles to come up against. So yeah, that is it's annoying that you can't really get to the side of things. But they're getting older, so you know,
should start coming on now.
Obviously, the boys that I'm able to make it to next season with me, and the boys that I have from next season, they will really benefit because the level of detail I go to with tactics, they'll be able to, they'll be that much older, they'll be able to take it in more and be able to exemplify it or carry out more, execute even better. And obviously, next season my team will be of ballers. Yeah. So I have
more flexibility.
The best team, one of the best teams on paper. With my tactics and attention to detail with my colleague, you know, the ambition would be to, you know, try and win everything, really. Yeah. And be as competitive as possible and to try and get our top boys pushed onto the next level. That sort of stuff. Because, that's what was so frustrating about Sunday. Done everything in training. You know, even on Wednesday, they didn't perform that well. But obviously the drills and the planning that goes into it, you know, you
put a lot of time into planning.
You work on the stuff that, you know, you're gonna need to do on Sunday or counteract, like being physical, headers and stuff, recovery runs, whatever. Especially on Saturday as well, which is annoying because not that many people turned up. Like I said, training numbers that day was poor. Yeah. And on Sunday, it just got taken apart. And and like I said before, it's like they have at least 2-3 boys that toe punting the ball.
Oh yeah.
You know, technically it's night and day, but you know it's way more than that. But yeah, to round up, AFCON thoughts.
AFCON's chaotic as fuck, but I'm enjoying it. But the thing with AFCON, it's just so like back and forth. It's not like or you get some teams. So Senegal, they're so well drilled. Like they're a proper coach side.